Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, on today's video, you probably see this snake over here. Not really a snake, it's actually a cable. It's slithering away. Also, before I start the video actually, if you notice the fish tank's a bit blurry, got a bit of algae in it, because I've just cleaned it, so it's floating around off the stones. Because we have to clean the stones because we lost our bottom sucker, or bottom feeder. The stone's getting a lot algaeified. After the coronavirus has gone, we're getting quite a few of them. To clean up the bottom and the leaves and the stone and everything. That'll be that. Anyway, back to the snake here. No, this isn't a snake, this is actually a cable we're all going to be using today. And also, you can probably recognise this from my second ever video, Leo, what is it? Larry Loves Leo, I think it was, that I showed this for the very first time. The Duchess of Sutherland, I think it is. Yeah, Duchess of Sutherland LMS. And I've actually showed that for this specific video. Now, you probably also noticed these little vehicles here. I don't know if they focused in on the camera. But one is a 135. Same one in that picture in the model there, just a bit smaller. HO scale to be precise. And this, I have no idea what it is because I cannot read the front, but I know it says GX on the front. So if there's any vintage car enthusiasts out there, and you can actually see this somehow, you must have very good sight to see that. I mean, I do wear glasses, but, you know, I have no idea what that car is. I can't see. I know it says GTX on the front. Not GTX, GX. It says something on the front, I just can't read it, and I don't recognise it as a car, because most cars back in the day did look like all of them like that. Now it'll be used later on in the video, and so will that. So this cable, back to this cable. Now this cable is on. That cable actually goes into this thing. This is a Hammett Morgan controller, and it goes in there, and all of these sockets, or the controlled and uncontrolled, will be used today. Anyway, you turn this way around, and it goes in there like so. Now the light's switched on, and you can do this. You can hear clicking, and this green light comes on when it gets to a certain way. Being flipped the way it goes, that won't be mattering today because we're not using trains today. So we might have to move the Duchess of Sutherland along, squeeze that on there. Don't really have much space to do it here, but I haven't got anyone else to do it that's not occupied. Now, yes, right, okay. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using some rice bulbs and wheat bulbs. Now, this is a pack of rice bulbs, and they come from Expo. 12 volt light bulbs, rice bulbs, don't know what I'm coming up with here. And these get very hot, so don't touch them when they're on. And this here is this is a wheat bulb. I'm not incorrect here. It's a wheat bulb, and I'll just get one of these out, although these are frustrating to get in the packet. I've used one before, and I'll show you what I mean. Anyway, so this is a rice bulb in my left hand, and this is a wheat bulb. Now, actually, I mixed these up once, and it drove me mad to get them back into which pack. I had to work out which one was a rice bulb and which one was a wheat bulb. And I'm no engineer, but that was hard as blimmin' heck. It was just me ages sat there trying to get them off the floor, and you know. Anyway, we're definitely going to be using rice bulbs today. We might use the wheat bulb that I have. I do have Expo make wheat bulbs as well. It's exactly the same bulb, just one's bigger. And I think this it does a bit more light. Doesn't require any more volts or whatsoever. It just does a bit more light. So, this is actually my first tutorial video. So, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need some lights. You're going to need some sort of power pack to let your power out of somehow. I've got this one, Hammett & Morgan controller. And you're going to need some wires. Now, you don't require these. It depends how close your building is going to... is going to be close to your controller, your power pack. So, if it's going to be far away, get some wires. This is some... I don't know what kind of wire this is. I know what kind of wire it is. It's kind of wire, this kind of wire. But it's not that wire, because, you know, it's not that wire. But this is actually broken. It's copper wire, and it's broken. When I was taking it out of its insulate here, it's a bit broken. So we can't actually use this. It's got too tatty. I mean, it doesn't really matter how tatty it is, as we'll see later, but it's got this, so we can't use it. But anyway, just get yourself a bit of wire if you're not having your buildings close by. So let's get some buildings. Actually, no, I'll show you what I did earlier. So obviously we need an example that I have done before. Now this is McAfee's service station construction kit. Now actually this is where the car's going to come in. So if we push... I hadn't thought about this. If I take my sand animals off there, give me a moment. Give me a mo. Push that down there. That is actually going to be used later. Let's push everyone back. Let's push Mr. Santa Cactus back. Sweets back. Cactus back. Slot that in there. Now, these are what you could use if you didn't have very long wire. Now, I actually managed to find a bulb that goes up there with quite long wire, which is decent. And then I've got another one here, which is another quite long wire. Now, this wire in the showroom, which is this little corner bit here, this is a vintage service station. I might do a little, like, not a speed build, because I've already built it and I haven't filmed it, which is a bit silly of me, but I might do, like, a review of it. It's very sturdy, well, to an extent, obviously. You wouldn't chuck it out your bedroom window or anything. The only I like about this is because McAfee normally make card kits. This one actually has a plastic stairwell, which is really cool. And it does have advertisements on, so Castrol there. BP, the vintage logo for BP. You know, it's got whatever I came up with. Because when you make McAfee kits, what I like about McAfee kits is they give you, actually I still have the sheet, but they give you like loads and loads of like stickers. So you've got Goodyear here, Michelin, you've got all of them. And basically what they do is they give you an entire sheet of cutouts that you can cut out and then glue onto the building wherever you want. There's another Castrol there. And it's really cool. And there's actually Castrol in the window there. I don't think we're going to be able to see this. But there is actually window decor, which is really nice. And they're not hard to put together. Now, their instructions may be a bit confusing, but when you do get used to them, they come along quite nicely. You know, you've got some skylights here. It's a very nice one. And then that just goes on the plaque here. And now, I've actually got a bit of blue tack on here to hold the car in when we put it in. Yes, we are. Got a little man there who actually stands in the garage there, like that. That's the showroom floor. They always used to have that sort of checkered board, granite in there. And you see here, they have little labels on the thing, so you don't have to worry. And that doesn't actually show. The windows, I'd say, or the glazing is very hard to put in because you don't want to touch it. Because I've had many, many kits. Actually, we're going to be seeing one on the roof that I accidentally made a bit of a mistake on the roof when I was actually super gluing it. Luckily, I didn't super glue my fingers. And there's a bit of a mistake I made because I accidentally glued across the thing, but I actually made it look quite good, like it was rain running off the roof. Now, you can fix these mistakes quite easily, but you've got to be careful of that. Right, let's get it plugged in and see what we can do. So, we're going to be using, what side is this? We're going to be using the outer track for this. Doesn't matter if you do, power packs don't really have outer tracks, it's just that this is a Hornby controller. So, car will go in, and it's this car because this is my favourite car. When I went into the shop to get that ages ago, that's a very old car. Actually, it's not as old as the tractor, but not in like real life. That's quite an old car. I think it's like 20 years old. No, it's 30 years old in real life, and the tractor is, God, we're going 50 years old in real life. That is, they're not that old in real life. They're probably quite new. I think they're The tractor, I think, is about a year old. But yeah, anyway, let's get... So this one is not a flashing light because they're expensive. And I can't really find them. You go into the model shop and you can't really find them very easily. Now, that's lots on there. Well, actually, make sure you watch this video before you build your kits, because I was preparing for this before I built the kit. Unlike some of the other buildings we're going to see today. So make sure, and this is very important, you watch this video before you build the kit. Because you need to make sure the building can come off like this. If it has a flooring like this that's solid, and we're going to see a few more a bit like that a bit later that I haven't prepared for, because I didn't think I was going to be this ingenious to do lights. So how are we going to do this? Because the wires actually aren't. Oh, hold on. Oh, look at that! Look at that! I want you to all see it, but I can only get it to a certain extent. So this part's very fiddly. I might be able to bring the camera a bit closer. See what I can do here. Go over everything I've got on the floor there. Now obviously it's going to be a bit pixely, but we can see if we can... So you can see the little wires here. So one of these says controlled, one of these says uncontrolled. Now the one we want to put in is this one. Oh, we're going to have to crosswire here, but anyway, this one here needs to go into the controlled. This may take a few attempts, obviously, especially if you have a power pack like this. They're a bit fiddly to get the wires in, especially when I haven't... Actually, we'll put the base in last. So if you move the base out of the way, it's a bit easier. No, we want this... Hold on, no, never mind. We need this in uncontrolled. So, controlled means that you can turn it on and off. Anyway, this is very fiddly. That's nearly one in. For goodness sake. Ah, let me have it. It really, really helps if you don't screw them up like me, because when I was gluing them in, I screwed them up a bit. Because the bulbs are so small, they have small wires. I would get my screwdriver out and see if I can poke it in, but then I'd electrocute myself. Because this is on. Really, I should be... Actually, that might help if I unplug the wire there. If I unplug... Actually, this might help massively. I'm glad I said that, actually. Very fiddly, you see. Might just cut the video here. Actually, yeah, I might do that. Yeah, anyway, you know what you have to do. You have to get them using these red and black sockets. If you get a bulb, it might come with red and black wires, but it doesn't matter one bit. It doesn't matter which hole they go in. If you're like what is OCD it? If you have OCD, you can do it if you want. Doesn't really matter though. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the video here, and I shall see you once I've got these wires plugged in. See you in a bit. That's done my back in. Anyway, that was the second view in about, not actually that long. I surprisingly got it in, probably because I wasn't talking. Anyway, now for the moment of truth. I have tested them, so I know they definitely work. So, the car is in there. You won't be able to see it yet, though. This little van here is a very famous van. This is a white transit van. White Ford Transit van. And the thing I like about these expensive cars, now these are very expensive. These specific type of cars are a lot more expensive than the average Matchbox car that you can pick up from your toy store. These are modelling cars. They move. They have rubber tyres that I could take off, but I won't. They have individual lights. They have little wing mirrors. They have glass in them, or plastic, see-through plastic. They have full-on dashboards, and the budgie is cheaping because I'm talking. unfortunately, this one, I'm not sure what this is, but it has like a thing here. I think it's meant to be a window, but they couldn't fit it in there because it's got a mechanism in there. Not because it goes by itself, it's just that you could put a mechanism in there if you want, and it just makes life a bit easier for the average modeller. Now it does have, the thing I also like about these is there's the Ford logo, and then ready? Number plate! Now I would normally be scared about having a number plate, but because this is not a real vehicle, it's fine. And it actually says Transit on the back, which I've literally only just noticed. So I like these cars. And I can read the modern cars because their logos are a lot more identifiable, but the old-fashioned logos... Anyway, they're a bit more hard to spot. Anyway, moment of truth. Let's actually turn the dial up here. On there. So the back... Actually, no, let's not. Right. There it goes! The light's on, and then... you won't be able to see it. Yeah, you can. Behind... If you see behind here, you can, like... If you really wanted to, like, make it like a film... You could just twist this, which is what I'm doing here. So I can switch it off. And it's just a brightness adjuster, really. And it looks like, if you do it like this, it looks like someone's welding back there or something, making a flash, which is really cool. So in this video, we're going to be learning how to do that. Now, it's easier to get them out than it is to put them in. Now, these wires don't get hot, but the bulbs do. So this building will actually be very hot now, so I'm going to put it to rest quickly. And we will be seeing the car and the van at the end. And I might do a review on this specific type of car, because they are... I do like an unboxing review, even though they've already been unboxed. Sort of first look view, even though it's not first look. Now, we're going to get our controller back up here. Now I'm going to show you another example, but this example is if you don't want your building right next to the thing, which I can actually bring up to the camera, hopefully. The wire's not that far. Anyway, I've got... Oh, for goodness sake, I just broke it. Oh, well, anyway, actually, this is a good example of showing you how to do it. Hopefully the wire's not broken. No, it's not. So, this little building here, I don't want it... Pretend I'm making a layout here. I don't want this station building close. By the way, it does have some nice little posters on it. I added a door in there because there wasn't one originally. Anyway, see, I don't want this station building close. Oh, actually, this is the one that I messed up on the roof. So that's what you could do with the glazing in plastic buildings especially. So I was making like a full-on decking for it, but it failed. So anyway, I've got the bulb in already. I've glued that in already. So pretend I've already done that, which I have. So we don't have to pretend. So what you will need a toolkit. I'm going to move the controller over there. So you will need a toolkit. And this is my toolkit. I made this toolkit myself. It says tools on top. And in this toolkit is some things. So we have some glue, which is actually empty. We have a Sharpie, just in case we need to make some mark prints. We have mains, well, kind of semi-main socket. We have some screwdrivers, we've got big ones, small ones, all sorts of screwdrivers in here, and I think I've forgotten no I haven't. Anyway, we have all sorts of screwdrivers in here for all sorts of different jobs. And this is what you will need. Now, you don't necessarily have to get this specific type, but this here is called not an electrician here, so I'm pretty sure it's called a socket. It's not a fuse. Don't quote me on any of the names of this because I have no research whatsoever. But it's some sort of miniature socket. Now, I've already got one on here and I've already cut it to shape because they come in really long, lengths of this. I know you can get them separately like that, but I suggest getting one of them if you're going to be doing this quite a lot. Or just get hundreds of little packs. So you're going to actually need a teeny weeny one of these, a chisel nose thing. Now this one's actually perfect to get in here because it's just the right size. Now, I know spanners have specific, millimetre sizes and everything, but screwdrivers don't, so I'm just going to go with a small one. So I have my 2 wires cut to length here from a ginormous wire, one of these. And I have my building, I've glued the light in, and I want to extend it because I don't want it right up close to the thing like this. It's okay, but I want it a bit further away. So I've cut my wires to length here. So now what you have to do is you have to get your screwdriver, and there's little screws on the top here. Now what you want to do is you want to get your screwdriver and you want to loosen these. And I'll actually just loosen that one and screwing it, but that's actually quite good because now it just speeds up the process. Now they will come out with a bit of, they don't actually take that much force to come out. But now we move on to the tricky part. So obviously, once again, black and red wire does not matter. You could get a blooming green wire, but you have to. One rule. I know this for a fact. You need 1 black wire. Now, if I go back to this thing here, you have all sorts of different colour wires here: red, white, yellow, and then black. Now, whenever you're doing this, you need a black wire. Black wire and yellow wire, that'll work. Black wire and white wire, that'll work. Black wire and red wire, that'll work. You just need a black wire because this is an earth wire, so this stops your light bulb from blowing up. Now, when I go back to something like this, this is not colour coded, but that is a black wire and that is a red wire, or that is a black wire and that is a red wire. I'm not quite sure, but they are there. And that stops it from blowing out or earthing out. And that's why when you say church, and definitely English churches, they have that ginormous, I think it's yellow wire, or just yellow like tube that goes down the side of them. And that's an earth wire. So if that building gets struck by lightning, they can just suck the energy out of it. Anyway, so you want to get your little wire here and you want to stick it in here. Now make sure it's nice and twisted up. I don't know what's happened to the end of this wire. It's turned into like a steel colour. It is copper wire, by the way. And then you just want to tighten the screw up on it. And then it's nice and secure. Then do that on exactly the same. That is an issue. Right, I may need to go and chop that off. I'll see if I can do it with that little straggler coming out. If not, I am going to have to just pause the camera quickly and go and get that turned into something like that. Now, you need actually a special tool for that. So if you don't have that, just buy the wires ended like this already, because you can get them off the market. This goes in there. Now this is the very beginning of electricity, electronics. I am no electrician, but that is the beginning of it. Now, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work, because I don't think I'm really going to bother going back. So, let's plug these in. Now, hopefully, so I'm going to, for the OCD people, I'm going to plug the red wire in there, but this really does not matter. It does not matter if it's red on black or black on red. Actually, I think I've cut that one quite freshly because it's snapped off. Ah, good, right. Little building can come alight, and this is the one I think I actually tested when I tested the light and how hot it gets. So you will be careful with that. So you could like, oh, there you go. There you go. And that's what we're going to be, so that's if you need a really long wire. You stop now. But anyway, that's because of that red wire. So you don't want wires like that. That's one thing you don't want wires like. You want them nice and fresh like that. And now we'll move that out of the way. That's our example done. So yeah, now we're going to do it on a card kit building, and we're going to do it if you want it right next to it. So, I don't know if this is going to work with the length of rice bulbs I have, wherever they've gone. Here they are. I don't know. I was going to do it on this building, but obviously I might need to do that, which I don't want to do because I can't really cut it up on camera, but there you go. That's what you could do it with. But I think I'm going to do it on this building because this is going to be nice and easy. So I haven't run, as I said earlier, I've run out of glue, so I won't be able to glue them in permanently, but I can show you what you can do. when you don't want them that far away from the controller. So I think this rice bulb looks good. Actually, it probably helps when you're not gluing them in, so then you can like move them around. Because when I was doing it on that thing, it was really hard, or the service station, you can't see it obviously, it's slow the camera. I've got everything set up here, so I can pick it up off the floor. So yeah, all you have to do really. No, this is when I found out where they were really hot. I burnt myself on one of these. If you don't turn them on, you're golden. So let's just plug this in quickly. Really nice and easy. So we're going to illuminate this Tudor house here. This is really simple. It's on. Hold on. Make sure the light's working because some lights will be dead. Yeah, see, that light's obviously done. Controller's saying light's going through, but obviously it isn't. So that light's dead. So I'm going to actually put that on the side. So sometimes when the manufacturers put them in their boxes, they can be slightly dull. I think that's actually. I might use the wheat bulb actually. The ones I used in the service station were rice bulbs. So I'm going to use a wheat bulb, you know. The wheat bulb we have here, which definitely works. I'm pretty sure this one 100% works. Now you've got to make sure you put them in right. As you just saw there, this one definitely works. So we're going to put it in here. Now unfortunately I've just realised this window here, this one here, it's actually blocked up, so we're going to have to use a top one. Might not work. So you will be able to see a slight glow though. No, that's really good. You can see it coming. Oh, that's really cool. You can see it coming under the door and everything. That's really cool. I've never actually tried it on these buildings. We turn it over. It'll be exactly the same outside as well. I can put it on the front, I think. Looks like someone's home, doesn't it? Looks like someone's in there. Hello, you in there? Anyway. You know, you can when you have it on control, you can sort of change the light here. You can switch it off. So pretend they've gone out to get some shopping. Switch off, on, off. Don't want to blow the bulb though. That's one thing you want to be careful of. So that's if you want it right next to the controller. I think that looks quite good though. If we were to do a layout. Now I'm going to show you if you wanted to do a really small building like this, and this is actually a plastic building. So actually, I don't know why I unplugged it really. Because I have the tediousness of getting it back in. Now little buildings are a bit more difficult, but I'll show you anyway. Because especially plastic buildings, they glow. And when you have little buildings, because these buildings have thicker things, walls, than the plastic buildings, these sort of glow. Now, in real life that would be semi-accurate, but they wouldn't glow as much as that. Now to solve that, what you would do, I don't actually have any on me, but what you would do is you would either paint the inside black, or you would put black paper inside, or you would just lower the dimmity of the light. Now I don't know if that would work, just because we can't lower it on here massively, but you can lower it to an extent. Now that is about perfect. Yeah, that's actually brilliant. As soon as you start going up into higher volts, it starts to get a bit ridiculous and looks like a blooming jack-o'-lantern. But about there would be the right light sort of thingy for one of these sort of cottages. So I think that'll be it for today's episode. Oh yeah, no, one more thing. Now, I will be doing a review on these. These are my very own custom coaches, Lloyd & Co wagons. Now these are absolutely fantastic. I love these. I got these for my birthday and they're brilliant. I absolutely adore them. Lloyd & Co. I can't believe they're custom and everything. And these are really expensive. They're not customised to me obviously, but these are now, you can't get them anymore. These are so rare and hard to get. I'm actually surprised the person who gave them to me found them. And I just wanted to put them out, and I might be doing a review on them a bit earlier. I got two, which is even better. Now, one more thing before we go. These little cars, they're going to be having a review as well. So you're probably wondering, is this the Hornby series coming back? Well, the answer to that question is yes. The Hornby series is coming back. and I am looking forward to it. I don't know why I really halted on it. We had that giant gap when I was not making any videos, or when I was making videos to when I wasn't making any videos, and it was a bit weird. So, yes, the Hornby series is coming back. And it's things like gold, like gold, like gold, like gold. 11? No, we've done that before. 12. Go a bit spicy. I think you can make it. I think you can make it. You've astounded me quite a time. And if you've downloaded that Leo thing, then you should be able to download, or you should be able to subscribe. Also, I think it's 34% of you aren't subscribed, so what are you doing? Go and subscribe. I'm pretty sure it's 34% of my viewers that haven't subscribed. So come on, what are you doing? Come and subscribe. If you're watching, why don't you subscribe? Obviously, some of you might not have YouTube channels or Google accounts. If you don't, then that's fine, I understand. But if you do, why aren't you subscribed? If you're watching, you subscribe. That puts all of my newest videos on your YouTube homepage, and I shall see you in the next video. I do hope you enjoyed. Peace out.